What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. An email from a man, Keegan. Dear Marc, first off, you cannot imagine my excitement for the reply. I did reply to him. I don't remember what, but I replied. People, if they don't have their email chain like this guy didn't, I get like 700 emails a day I answer. There's no way I'm going to get to it. It's up to 1,000. Can you make a video on the introduction to bodybuilding or simply the basics of what you personally did to start bodybuilding, how it worked, and what you have learned thus far? You are my inspiration, man. I really trust your opinion. I am starting to bodybuild, gone from 15% to 8% body fat and gained 15 pounds lean mass. I'm just really looking for how you started bodybuilding and what you did like workouts and what you would change now with all of your experience so that I get the best start to my journey and become alpha as fuck. Some people look up to Arnold Schwarzenegger. I look up to you. Keep it up, man. I don't even belong in the same sentence as Arnold Schwarzenegger. First of all, especially after you banged that ugly babysitter, I lost all respect. Arnold, you're fucking Arnold, dude. You're banging an ugly fucking house kid. I mean, gee whiz, man. That bitch was ugly. At least Tiger Woods was getting some fucking dimes. I mean, geez, dude. And then you're eating that? He's like, eating isn't cheating? I wouldn't fucking eat that. Anyway, besides the point. How I started bodybuilding. Well, I gotta say, I started playing football. I was 13 years old, and I was training at the Culver City High School weight room. At that time, our coach was Coach Stephen Carroll. And he used to stand on the desk. We had a desk and a TV, and then there was the weight room. And I was lifting, I was fucking around. I was about $150, the height I am now, just fucking short. And he said, and I had talent. I mean, Coach Carroll realized I had talent, but he didn't. I don't think he really thought I'd amount to shit. And he yelled out, "Lobliner, if you don't start lifting, you're not gonna play a fucking lick." And I just looked at him like, whatever, fuck you, asshole, you know. And that night I went home, and I don't want to I'm not gonna make a political stance because this really isn't one. But at that time in 1995, I think it was, affirmative action was strong, okay? And I was white. And I knew senior white kids with 4.0s who couldn't get into fucking second tier schools because there were too many white people. And I'm like, fuck, I had a 3.2 in high school. I mean, I wasn't overly intelligent. And I'm like, if I don't get and at this time I'd already given up baseball because I realized I didn't have it. I played it my whole life. I was dominant. I lived in a small town. I moved to the big city. I realized that I was a good 10th man. I would never make it. So I rolled my dice and went for football. I started playing football mostly because it was my only way into school. And then I just didn't put the effort in. I thought maybe I'd just fucking grow. And then the next day, Coach Cornell Miles, he was 6'3", 6'4", played in the CFL, was a reverend, is a reverend. I'll see him once in a while. I haven't seen him in fucking 5-7 years. I mean, a long time. And I saw him. He was lifting a man, Leon Hatton. I don't know what happened to Leon, but he and I became great friends. He used to go over to his grandma's house for chicken wings, go to Roscoe's every couple weeks. Leon was my boy, man. I love Leon. And I saw them lifting. They were doing chest, doing incline press. And I was okay at incline press. And I said, "Coach," he said, "What?" And Coach Miles, before I started lifting him, he used to treat me like shit. Said I looked like a gerbil once. I'll never forget that. I walked over to C's, Culver City, in the middle of the fucking weight room. Said, "Get off the C's, you gerbil." I don't even know why he called me a gerbil. Sure, I've stuck one in my butt a few times, but not that young. I waited till I was at least 16. Stick gerbils in my butt. And I'm like, "No, I'm serious. I want to train with you, sir. I want to train. I'm ready. I'm going to go to college because of this shit, right?" And, all right, if you can hang with us this workout, weight for weight, and I wasn't going to hang with Coach Miles. That motherfucker was benching like 405, like 16, 18 reps. He was a freak, beast. He was, he'd get excited. One time he got in trouble because during a game, and those of y'all like Ronnie Felder, follows me on Facebook, he'll remember Coach Miles. I think Ronnie was a year younger. Coach Miles, when I was a junior, fucking got so excited, he hit a linebacker, a big 240-pound kid, hit him in the chest. Kid went flying like 5 yards. He got in trouble by the school because it was right in front of a big crowd. Coach Miles was a freak, man. I love that guy. He changed my life around. And long story short, I hung with them. And from that point on, Leon Hatton and I, we trained with Coach Miles 5 days a week, and we'd come in on Saturday Coach Carroll would open up the gym just for us. And we train every fucking day, 6 days a week. And alongside that, we train with the basketball team to work on our speed and agility. Long story short, I don't know if the weights caused this or whatever, but I went from 150, 160 pounds to 240 pounds between my sophomore and junior year in summer. In 2.5, 3 months, I gained 70 pounds, over 70 pounds. To the point where it almost ruined my life. Everybody, I was that guy on steroids. I knew what steroids were. I thought you get steroids from like eating bad chicken. I thought someone could like rub it on your skin. I didn't know you had to inject it. I remember I went to the doctor. They did want me to take a drug test. So I went to my doctor and I'm like, I'm not on steroids. Like, yeah, whatever. Turns out I had hypergonadism. My balls were essentially on fire. I was just fucking shooting out. My test levels were, I think, above 3,000 if I'm not mistaken. It's been like, fuck. It's been like 20 years. Fuck. And sure as shit, I got up 240 my junior year. Recruiter scouts started looking at me, and by my senior year, you know, long story short, football got me into college. My last game my senior season, I blew up my knee. Literally the playoff game, playing up in Atascadero, but we weren't playing Atascadero. It was in the first round. We lost, and all I did is I was coming on defense, and I just threw a block off. I fucking fucked him up. All I did was pivot, just like this. There was no one on me, and there went my meniscus. Long story short, I ended up not going D1. Went to California Lutheran, was training for that football team, and my meniscus, they tried to repair it the first time, and it ended up being, it was like trying to, and because I was young, they were aggressive. Dr. Keith Fader, great doctor, did the LA Kings at the time, and it was a risk, and it just didn't hold. Along with my meniscus, my ACL, MCL, and everything in between went, and there goes my football career. So, doctors said, you know, no squatting, no anything. I was squatting in 3 weeks. My brother took like 2 months to even think of doing anything in a squat mode. I didn't give a fuck, and it was probably the wrong thing to do, but thank God I didn't break anything or tear anything. I was under 225, and at that point I decided to power lift. I went to college. I was in college doing my thing. I started training with someone, and I started powerlifting. And this is something he said, what would you do? I recommend everybody starts out as a power lifter, but learn the proper mechanics. I never learned how to lift correctly, and that's probably why I have the issues I have now. And I recommend if you're in the Midwest area, we just had a guy come the other day, get with myself and Dr. Stu, and we'll charge your ass. We're not doing it for free. It's going to be affordable, and Dr. Stu will get with you and show you proper squat and deadlift mechanics and work with you over email, over the phone, or you can come in. I recommend getting with someone, but definitely start powerlifting first. So I competed at 19 years old. I was in the APF. I bench pressed, I believe, 470. My squat and deadlift weren't 700, but it was in the upper 600s. I don't remember the exact weight. It was like 675 and 670 respectively. Squat was a little bit less. After that meet, I blew up my ass. It wasn't a complete prolapse, but let's just say that a lot of blood vessels came out. They got infected and I had to have emergency surgery that night, but I did get a great total. What was my total? 1,400. Shit, I damn near got 2,000 pounds, man. I was like at 1,800. So, fast forward. At about 20 years old, Jerry Candela, then editor of Men's Fitness magazine, I was working at Waiter, came to me and said, dude, you got the look we want. I was 240 at the time, powerlifting. He said, dude, if you cut down, put you in Men's Fitness magazine. Fuck yeah. I cut down, started doing modeling. I liked how I looked. And at that point, I was getting attention. You know, I liked it. And so fast forward from that, I started Scivation in 2004. In 2005, I realized that our company wasn't doing as well as I'd like to, and I wanted to get more notoriety. So I started a blog on bodybuilding.com message boards. And I wouldn't go to those message boards anymore. They're just a bunch of company reps trading friggin' free product with each other. There's no good information anymore. If for good information, I'd actually go to YouTube or Facebook, follow some good people. So what I do is I was blogging my shit, and this is before Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and sure enough, sales, I did my first show, which is Carolina Clash, which I won my class, and sales, boom, they went up. So I kept competing. And long story short, that's my career on why I started lifting. And then I had a short-term goal after I sold Scivation. I had that goal to be a pro bodybuilder. After I sold Scivation, I wanted to do it even more. I had the time at the time, not anymore, because the companies have exploded to bigger than any company I've ever been a part of in my life, any two entities. It's fantastic. It's a dream, but again, I don't know if I'll ever be able to defend or use my pro card, but I got it, I obtained it, and if it fucking expires, I don't give a fuck. I showed I could do it once. If I do go again, I don't know, I might go for that IFBB pro card. I don't know. So what I did, workouts, everything. And I don't regret anything. I did everything. For a year straight, I did HST by Brian Haycock, which is a full body workout. I did 3-day a week and I did 6-day a week, where it was upper, lower, upper, lower, upper, lower, or it was upper, lower in one day, off, upper, the whole body, off, 3 days a week. I really got good results on that. I wouldn't do it again because it bored the shit out of me, but I liked it at the time. I liked the results I was getting. I did Dorian Yates HIIT. I did Dorian Yates style training. I call it blast training. Got great results from that. Volume training, got great results. What I found is the key to this whole lifting thing, the key to the component, the secret to gains: consistency. While I've changed my program 400 times, the one thing I always did is I never stopped. I never took a year off. I never took 2 months off. I'd take a week off here and there. I'd take a few days off, but I would never, ever, ever fall off the wagon, because bodybuilding is a marathon and it's also just accrued results. I mean, if you look at, you gain 1% every day or 1% every week, that shit adds up. So while you're not going to get immediate results overnight, like someone's like, I got an email today, it's like, hey, you know, everything's growing, but my biceps aren't growing. I'm training them twice a week. What do? I'm like, keep training them twice a week. It's a battle. It's a consistency battle. And then you'll bring something up. My back was a weak point. I brought it up. Now my arms are a weak point. I'll bring them up, then my chest. It's like you're constantly, that's what's beautiful about this whole thing, is your work here is never done. There's always a new short and long-term goal to set. And that's my beginnings in bodybuilding. That's my life history. And I also left out one person, Coach Scott McCrilla, who was a very instrumental in my life development as well as my bodybuilding development. And yeah, I'll say that's essentially how it all began and how it all came to fruition. But guys, thanks for watching. All right, that's my journey. My journey is not going to be like your journey. Your journey is going to be your own journey. And my journey, I'm only 34 years old. I got another 40 years of this shit. If I live to 74, I think that's a good age. Because you never see a 90-year-old go, yay, I'm 90. It's like, nah, fuck, 90. Just kidding. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. That's how I started. The one regret I do have, I don't have any. Because I tried it, I did it, and I still love it. TigerFitness.com! You're more than just a number here. We all have our own personal triumphs, our own personal issues, but the one thing all we can do is just keep pushing through and keep making shit happen.